Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review. Slightly on time, as usual. A little bit of problems before we went on air, but it's fine. It's fine. We're all good. We're here. So welcome. Billy's had a fresh cut by the looks of things. Trimmed himself right down.
So what for any beard stuff
I've been to buy some fans today. Like it's... Alex, that Ming the Merciless beard must be extremely itchy now.
You're on mute, bud.
You're on mute, Alex.
That's not how it works. It's itchy before this bit.
Yeah, okay. He obviously uses the old the oils, Billy. You know what I mean? It has to be. It has to be. Anyway, welcome to another live show and another transfer show. If I'm openly honest, I have no idea who Alex has prepared tonight because we had a bit of feedback from the other thumbnails, and a lot of viewers wanted just a thumbnail to say that there was a transfer show, but not to disclose the players because they wanted it to be a surprise during the show. So that's exactly what we're doing for the transfer shows now. Now, obviously, I just want to kick off on a bit of a sour note and get your opinions of what happened to poor Joelinton after the Arsenal game, guys. Billy, we'll start with you. I mean, racism, it just has no place anymore. It's never has had any place, actually, but it's just disgusting.
It's abhorrent. It's just something that shouldn't be. It should be confined to dustbins of history. You know, and people that engage in this kind of thing of lacking a bit upstairs, to be honest. You know, the people that mock the England players when they miss penalties happen to be the black players on the side that missed. They got terrible stick. It happens regularly. It's disgusting. It's time that the authorities stamped out on it, to be perfectly honest. It really is.
But Alex, it doesn't seem to have bothered him because the training pictures we've seen from the Brazilian camp today, I don't know whether you've seen his goal, but it is slightly impressive.
It's a trademark Joelinton run and goal. He's got the chop going on. You know, he telegraphs the chop quite severely, but they can't do anything about it because of his physicality. And then his trademark, I'm going to hit it really accurately, but also fall over every single time. I've never seen somebody fall over after every shot, but they're normally quite good shots, to be fair, how he manages it. But trademark Joelinton. It's nice to see him putting that on display in training. It'll give him more chance of actually featuring and showing what he can do. Unfortunately, his position, sort of whether it's a left-sided 8 or left forward, he's not going to get in ahead of Vinicius Junior unless they give him a chance. There's a bit of rotation. Midfield, maybe. You never know. It depends what they try and play. Obviously, anybody in and around that sort of side is maybe Neymar behind or Vinicius Junior. So he's got his work cut out, but I think he's more likely to feature in midfield, I would imagine.
Yeah.
The side I saw, the training's... It was right, layout. He was watching the midfield,
Interesting. Look, he's obviously, if he keeps doing that in training, he's going to impress the coach.
Well, I mean, he's going to offer considerably more than Fred will. Although Fred is a good player, Joelinton can do what Fred can do, plus considerably more ball carrying, physicality, output. It's just a bit more of an upgrade, really.
Now, is it the... by the way, guys, we've had a super chat come in. Bear with us from Ian Fleming. Again, thank you, Ian. Paul, am I still a member on your channel? It's saying I'm not. And to join, I'll have a look at that. I'll see if your name comes up in lights further down, Ian, when I get to that point. As Ian has just done, you can donate to the channel if you guys do so wish. Anything over $4.99, you are guaranteed your comment will be read out because it comes straight at the top of the list. However, anything lower than that will still... I've found a new section where they all go, so I will keep an eye on that as well if you do donate. And, of course, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy the show and to subscribe if you're brand new. Now, is it the transfer window opening at midnight, guys? Is that when it opens?
The 14th, wouldn't it be?
It's tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so midnight tonight, 14th. As from midnight, it will be the 14th. Therefore, when we get up in the morning...
It's not always how they do it, though, doesn't it? Sometimes they have certain times.
It might be 11 a.m. or something. Yeah.
Bollocks. It says the 14th, and I'm going from midnight, guys. So that means when I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, we will sign James Maddison. Right? It's done. And me and Alex will be doing some kind of show at some point tomorrow, welcoming James Maddison and having a more in-depth look at him and seeing how he's going to affect the Newcastle United squad. I may have fallen in me cornflakes. Who knows? But listen,
I'm going to stay up all night now. I'm staying up all night.
I hope you have, because then I've got a lot more planning to do that I haven't yet finished.
Yeah, well, I've heard that about you, Billy. Anyway, moving on. Ian, it doesn't say that you're a member. I think it's ran out, matey. So if you want to be a member, you'll just have to rejoin, buddy. Lisa's evening, Paul, Alex, and Billy. Bad shit about racism, hate racism, love football. Exactly. One race. The human race, simple as that. Ian says Messi leaving PSG because he's got the hots for a Greg steak bake. Ian, I think that's even more optimistic than me getting up at 7 in the morning seeing James Maddison has already signed.
Unless that's how Greg steak bake in Miami, I don't think that's going to happen. But Mbappe, maybe.
Well, really? I mean, to be honest, Joe's asking the question there. Does anyone think we'll get Mbappe? No. There's no way we're going to pay his wages.
Absolutely not. But he is up for sale, isn't he?
Potentially.
Well, yeah, he is. I mean, interesting the way he's gone around telling PSG that he's not going to stay. I mean, writing a letter. I mean, that's very old school, I have to say. But hey, it's each to everyone. Chipper says, "What did you make on last week's 20k show?" I don't know until the figures get. I think it's the end of this month. I get to know. It's a month behind. But a decent amount, I think, which is always good. Mark says, "Hey, Paul, Billy, and Alex, hope you're all well. On about the rubbish about the badge. If you look at old ones, it's the same, even as far as Adidas with the brown ale sponsors, exactly the same. And no one cared." Yeah, I've seen that now. I've looked back on my old shirts and seen it. But to be honest, I think it's now a problem with the Newcastle badge. I honestly think that I think
people are nitpicking a bit too harsh there. I think that is, you can see that kind of. I mean, I've got one here. I've got the NTL one here. I don't know if that's got that on it.
But there is a little bit
as well. That's on this badge. To be
there is some with there is some Qatari ones or with Newcastle, and there's a letter out of sync on there, which is clearly poor quality. We've seen a few of them. So I just think maybe look. I said on the Daily News video, I love the shirt. I don't care really about this. Well. Nobody's going to be paying too much attention to the Newcastle United writing. It's just the shirt itself is fabulous.
I did finish watching the Jamie Rubin interview though today. I've been watching it. I've been watching like sort of 15 minutes. Well, listening to 15 minutes of it every morning on the way to work. And he did mention when he was asked about shirt sponsors, he said, of course, we greatly respect and would love sort of Nike and Adidas. However, Castore have been great, or Castor, however he said it. And he mentioned and then this was Jamie Rubin's words himself. He was like, well, there have been some fan complaints about sort of missing shirts and things like that. So he said that himself. This is from the horse's mouth. So they are well aware there is fan discontent with Castor, and Absolutely. They will probably move away when they can.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love this shirt anyway. Look, I just think maybe the badge, there's been talk from a lot of fans that maybe it's time we change the badge again. But I just want to go back to the NUF and the C underneath. I love that badge. It's so basic, but so Newcastle iconic. United, iconic. Yeah, I loved it. Charlie Tuck, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. He says, "Evening, guys. Is this going to be a good transfer window for us?" Well, we certainly bloody hope so. Irani Granny, I don't know why I bother reading these out. Paul, do you hope we draw a Turkish team in the Champions League so you can get your hair put back on? I mean, I don't know why I bother with Irani Granny. Yeah, she's just in an evil mood towards me at the minute. Ian A says, "One race, the human race, and Mackems." Indeed. Even JB, sorry?
And Oliver Holt.
And Oliver Holt. Yeah, well, yeah, there's a few of them. There's definitely a few of them. Graham just mentioned about the Jamie Rubin podcast. So there you go. Alex has just mentioned that a couple of minutes ago.
Although I wish the lads would have done it, would have done a little bit of research prior to interviewing Jamie, because they were asking some rather basic questions about prize money for certain placings. That's freely available information they could have found themselves prior to the interview. So they wasted a lot of time asking Jamie questions that they could have found the answers to in 10 seconds of Googling, which was a little bit frustrating because I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more out of him, but it is what it is. I think he was friends with them or whatever.
Indeed. Joe says, come on, Paul, there's always a chance. What a statement that would be. PIF could have a plan to get Mbappe. Yes, and my socks are made out of gold. Mason says, it isn't on TV, Chippers, and I got mixed up with the timing. It's 8:30. I don't know what he's talking about on that one.
The Brazil game.
All right, okay. Afternoon, all. Hope everyone is well and spot on. Let's kick the racism. We all bleed the same once. Love the Toon. Good evening to Jal. Mark says, hi, Paul, Alex, and Billy. Did you see Big Joe score? Yep, we've been talking about that. Julie posted the link to Jamie Rubin's interview in the Toon Review Discord, so go and check that out. Now, before we get into the first possible transfer, I should just claim that we are not in the know. Again, these are just links in the media, so we have a look at them. We are not saying that these guys are signing for Newcastle United before anyone jumps on the bandwagon and says, oh, yous lot are in the know. We are not, and we never claim to be. There is other channels out there who seem to have a knowledge of Newcastle United, but if you go back and look at their historical tweets on every transfer window, how many of those transfers have come to fruition? About 2%.
To be fair, though, we did get Minter right. We reviewed him.
Yes, we did.
He had signed.
Yes, but that was purely off what the media was saying. Is like we do all the time. If the sign,
there's 50 that we've reviewed that haven't signed. So
exactly. But there's 50 on other channels that have also claimed that they're coming for medicals and never do. So there you go. Just be aware. We just talk about the players, what they could bring to the club should they sign. We're not saying they're signing. We're not saying there's any direct contact from the club. We are just looking at decent media sources, not the crappy ones, the decent media sources. And there we go. Before we start, Manchester United look like they're going to be Qatari owned, guys. Any thoughts on that?
No, I believe it when I see it.
I'm not too bothered, to be honest. I still think. I don't think it matters. I think it just means there's going to be another project. I still think it's going to be harder. We're not going to be able to be as dominant as possibly if that hadn't have happened. But I think we'll still win trophies.
Yeah.
I think it will just be a case of there's an extra seat at the table now. It was theoretically in 3 to 5 years' time probably just going to be us, Man City, Chelsea, possibly Arsenal if they get their house in order and really kick on. They could maybe. And then Manchester United not really been there, but this now guarantees them that they can be at that table again. So it's all of a sudden going to be a bit harder, but it's not going to stop us winning trophies. It just might stop us winning as many trophies. But
apparently,
we just want a trophy, don't we? So
apparently, the Qatari press retweeted somebody from Cardiff who sat in his own bedroom. So I don't believe it. I don't believe the Glazers want to sell. I believe they want to remain in some kind of ownership of it. I think Jim Ratcliffe will be the bloke with the boys in the end.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine the salt? Just the tears. Simon says, why is it taking so long to hopefully sign Maddison? Listen, it's a big deal. This is if this transfer goes through and Maddison comes to us, or he goes wherever he goes, it's a big signing, and these things take. They do take a bit of sorting out with contracts and add-ons and all sorts of contract negotiations. So, look, there's probably been a lot going on in the background that we will never know, but hopefully he comes to us. Channel Right, thank you for your £2 super chat. I'd like to see a lovely pink away kit. Ooh.
Can I just mention something before we move on from Minte as well? I've just double-checked. So we are in pot 4 for the Champions League. And Feyenoord, who is obviously the team that Minte's gone on loan to, Feyenoord are in pot 1. So we could draw Feyenoord in the Champions League. Yeah. And obviously they have different rules to the Premier League, so there may or may not be the opportunity for him to play.
It depends what's in the agreement. It depends what's in the agreement. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It could be real interesting if we draw Feyenoord from pot 1.
God, can you imagine? And Alex, I don't know whether you saw my earlier news show, the Daily Mail reporting that Maxi wants to stay and achieve his dream of playing in the Champions League.
I did see the title, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to achieve his dream of playing in the Champions League, which hopefully results in a French call-up. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's whether it's with us or without us. I think the best place for him to do it is here. It's one of those things. I was adamant that cryptic tweet wasn't cryptic. I think Maxi is very much, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a very passionate man, and he says what he thinks. He wants to be the best. He's never been shy about that. He's always talked about Ballon d'Ors. People laugh at him, fair enough. And I think he just said it because he knows he's maybe had a few bits of the season that were really good, and it was hampered a bit by injury, and he wants to kick on. I think that was all that was. I think people read into it far too much, but we'll see.
Indeed, we will. Pat Murphy wants to know how you super chat. There is a $sign at the bottom of the live comments on YouTube. Just a little dollar symbol. Click that, and that will take you through to make a payment, however way you want to do that. So thank you for doing that. Right, first player. I don't even know who this is because the writing on my screen is blurry, even though it's supposed to be a 4K screen, but what the hell? It is... Felix Nmecha. Of course, who is it, Alex?
I'm not sure if it's Nmecha or Nmecha. Obviously, it's not a German name. It will be from sort of African heritage, sort of ancestry. I'm not sure what language it originated from. Therefore, I don't know how to say it. I think the Felix bit's definitely German, though.
Born in England,
so. He was born in England, yeah. I mean, he's very much done a Musiala there on us.
I like the way it says born in England, United Kingdom. I mean, obviously they're not quite sure where he was born.
Well, in England, obviously. I think they know exactly where he was born. Right, so I'm going to bypass the stats real quick and whiz down just to show you a bit of context. So I'm aware of this kid because... Any football games you play, but Billy might know this if he's done any career modes on FIFA in the past. But if you ever choose Manchester City for a bit of fun, as I did a few times on FIFA before we had some money, the first thing you do is you load up the squad and you transfer list all the dross or anything that's not going to be there, and then you go buy all the superstars. So this was one of the people that you would essentially go straight into the squad list and go, right, loan him out or sell him, or we're going to try and use him, one of the three. So part of the Manchester City Academy has been with them officially since he was 16 years old. I'm not sure if he was part of the academy setup prior to that, possibly. I think he's been there for quite a while, though. So then went to Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga in good old Germany. Mm-hmm. And he's done okay. 16 appearances with one start in the 2021-22 season, and then managed 30 appearances, 19 starts, so considerably more. 1,800 minutes, 3 goals, 5 assists. He is a midfielder, obviously a very high technical level and a good upbringing football-wise with good football pedigree, having come through that Man City. You know, if you look at sort of the date range, 2017 to 2021, he was with Man City. So the fact he was there for that long, you know he's trained with some absolute world-class coaches. He's been with the right facilities. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be a good player technically. Right, so let's go back up and have a look. Contract expires June 2024, so we will have a year left on his contract this summer. Wages are extremely low when we think about what we're used to looking at. So that's not particularly prohibitive. He's very young, only 22 years old. So he'll be, you know, sort of as the season gets going, he'll be pretty much 23. 6'1.5", so he fits that profile of not being tiny. You know, he's got a little bit about him height-wise. And then if we scroll down and have a look at the real stuff we want to look at. So stats. So the first thing that most people have, his name came around sort of yesterday. I forget where we got linked with him from. I think it was
The Guardian.
This was Telefoot. We got linked with him by. So there's been a few little conversations on Twitter about his passing ability. It does obviously say, you know, he's in the bottom 15%.
Well, it doesn't exactly fill you with confidence, that does it? Really, when you read that.
I've done some digging on this. Well, I say that Kev from StatsBomb has done some digging on this, and we will have a look at some little StatsBomb graphics shortly after this. With obviously all the credit goes to Edit Kev on Twitter. But the rest of this is very, very complimentary, to be fair. His successful take-ons is extremely high. His contributions in and around the penalty area in terms of how many touches he's taking in the penalty area and how many progressive passes he's receiving. So he's always going to be sort of up there. His output per 90 is very good. His assists, shot totals really, really high. So everything here is in the right place. His defensive contributions are extremely high. His aerial duels are really, really high as well. And then when we look at who he's profiling, like probably people that you're going to know. Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. Rabiot, you've got Mikel Merino there. So he is profiling quite nicely. And then Endo's been quite good for Stuttgart. The good old hard-working Japanese team are obviously normally regarded as quite high pressers. Did I hear a giggle there? Thought I heard a giggle. Right,
no, I think Billy was just trying to breathe. I think he took a breath and I think he did a gallant. But he's all right.
Right, so here he is, 7.7 million euro valuation. Let's bump that price down and have a look at recent games. So a nice spread here of I would probably say an average of about 7-ish, give or take. He's had a few tidy games. You've got here a 5-1 victory, dropped an 8.2 and got an assist. So in this system, he's played on the left side in a 4-3-3. Dropped an 8.2 behind Jakub Kaminski. Let's have a look at how he's done. Although for some reason he's on the right. Okay, maybe that's. I'm not quite sure why that is. I didn't watch this game. Never mind. He's obviously on the other side. Then maybe they swapped. Tactical. Who knows? 62 touches. Reasonable pass accuracy. Again, that's sort of similar to what he was profiling on in his FBref profile. 2 key passes, a couple of long balls. Very, 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 very involved in this game. 6 completed dribbles is monstrously high. An enormous amount of physical work in this game. The 11 ground duels won and 2 aerial duels won. Gave away 1 foul. So considering all the duels he was involved in, to only give away 1 foul is not too bad. 5 tackles as well. So the output there was enormous. He's gotten through some work rate in that game. Against Augsburg, he got a goal here in a 2-2 draw. You can see again, where is he? Where am I looking at? Did he come on as a sub? He might have come on as a sub. I can't see him on that list. He might have come on as a sub. There he is. He came on at halftime. So he replaced Svanberg. Where was Svanberg playing? Oh, God, how do I scroll up? Svanberg was on the right side of midfield. So you can see he's scattered about here. Played 45 minutes. Much tidier passing accuracy. Completed a couple of long balls, a couple of shots. Not quite as involved in that game. So if we go to Twitter and have a little look. So this is from Sanjay. Although I don't want to see Sanjay's first. I want to see Kev's first. So let's scroll up. So this is what I wanted to see initially was Kev's analysis of him. So overall pass completion percentage, had a chance to have a look at this at Passing Sonar. There's a lot. So Kev specifically said here, there's a lot of forward, longer, and generally harder passes to complete here. So this is reflecting his creative passing map, right, where you have key passes and assists. So generally what this is trying to suggest is that, these are zones of the pitch, passes he's attempting, and the difficulty of them as well. So scaling percentages of passes that were successful. So this is getting very data heavy now. Sorry, guys. But this is trying to suggest that maybe his passes aren't quite as good because he's the one tasked with trying all the dangerous stuff. And it's not always coming off. And again, I don't know enough about him to consider why that is. Is that because his forwards aren't making the runs? Is it because the opposition are good? Is it his quality of passing? Is it system shape? Which way? I don't know. It could be a number of things.
That would fit in why his assists so high, though, wouldn't it? And his
exactly. He's the guy licensed to play those killer balls. Exactly. We did see a few key passes and long balls thrown into those statistics as well. So you've got to take a lot of this with a pinch of salt. The initial data is not always right. You've got to dig a bit deeper and look at the overall picture because there might be a bit of structure to why this is happening. So if I can actually, how do I go off? There we go. There is. So if we go down, so that, and somebody originally tweeted the passing worries me a bit. So obviously Kev's jumped in there and kind of done a little bit of data for people. And if we go down and have a look at Sanjay's nice little thread he's done. So a ball carrying number 8 is somebody we could do with, but in my opinion, this guy's profiling a bit more Joelinton and a bit less sort of Sean Longstaff, which is arguably we've been talking about somebody who can play in that Longstaff role. Whereas I do feel like this guy's a bit more Joelinton-y in terms of his physicality, take-ons, some dangerous last-minute passes. He seems to profile a bit more like Joelinton in my eyes than a sort of what we would want on that other side with the Longstaff. So this is just a general overview that Sanjay's put here. So if we go and have a look at his transfer marks, here he is, born in Hamburg in Germany.
What part of England is that then?
Although, hang on a minute.
I know, I've never heard of that.
Hamburg. Didn't it say on here he was born in England? Yeah, FBref says he's born in England, but Transfermarkt says he's born in Hamburg.
Wikipedia says that as well, I believe. So there you go.
The thing is, he's got a brother as well, so they might have mixed some information up potentially. So if you ever want to research this player, make sure you type in Felix because he has a brother with the same surname, obviously. 1 cap for Germany. Not bad. You know, you've got to be somebody if you're going to get a cap by that Germany team, especially with their midfield. So contract apparently expires in 20. There's a bit of discrepancy here between FBref and Transfermarkt. I don't know what's right. So they say 2024 on FBref. However, this says 2025 here. I don't know if there's some conflicting information because of the brothers. They might have mixed information. I don't think I've made a mistake, have I? It definitely says it's Felix for Wolfsburg, and although I think they both play for Wolfsburg, and you've got Felix for Wolfsburg. It's not me. I think I'm fine here. Right. Anyway, so you can see the traitor here. What is going on here? This is atrocious. I'm sorry. Hang on a minute. Started at England and then went, under 18s, I'm going to go back to Germany. And then I'm going to also make some appearances for England at under 18 level and then decide to go back to Germany at the under 21s. I mean, if this doesn't put you off, I don't know what will. I don't like that about a player. That certainly that frustrates me with the amount of players we have with dodgy allegiances, with people abandoning Ireland to come and play for us, with your Grealish and your Rice, and then you've also got all of the Polish ones that were born in Poland and play for Germany. Yeah,
and the English ones that were born in England that play for Poland, of course.
Indeed. I mean, I'm not.
Cash.
You're talking about Cash here, Mr. Cash, the only one. I was trying to think then. I was like, who could you be on about?
Yeah.
So yeah, right. Overview. Let's finish this off.
I'm not sure on him, if I'm openly honest.
He's a good player, but I mean,
he's all right. But there's been a lot of.
Though, hang on, but before you say that, let me broach you one question. The sort of links we've been linked with players like McTominay. I would much prefer somebody like this kid than a McTominay.
Yes. Well, I think we're all going to agree on that. I don't think anybody wants McTominay, to be honest. By the way, I've just checked up on the opening of the transfer window. I've just seen somebody comment there it's open at 7 o'clock in the morning. It opens from midnight. It starts at midnight tonight and closes at 11 p.m. on the 1st of September. So there you go. Hopefully we'll have done all our business by then. Pray to God that we have. Billy, what do you reckon of
Yeah, clearly a very good player with lots of potential. Seems like there's a bit of attitude there and a bit of negative baggage, I would say.
I didn't reference that. Obviously, if you guys want to talk about that, you can.
Well, I mean, I don't really want to go too much into it. I've heard a lot of, I've read a lot of reports that he's been a bit of a naughty boy with some of his comments. I don't know when those comments were made. I don't know even if he made them. So that's just a little bit of, for me, it's pie in the sky at the minute.
Are outstanding, and we don't know if they're true or not.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on them, to be honest.
Either, no. So I thought I'd just talk about the footballing aspect.
But as a player,
we'll see what
I like him. As a player, I like the stats. I must be honest, I've not seen anything of him at all. I've not watched Wolfsburg this season.
No, I've not watched Wolfsburg either this season.
But the stats-wise, he looks like a good player in the final third specifically. And maybe when we're playing against low-block teams, he's the kind of player that will help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Wolfsburg's football stadium is incredible. What a stadium that is. We've had a few super chats come in. Just Ian Fleming has renewed his membership. Pat Murphy, thank you. You found how to super chat. Thank you for your €5. He says, great show, guys. Paul, I hope you're paying Alex and Billy with all the donations you receive. They make the show. How are the lads? Well, Pat, bugger your super chat now. I wish you hadn't bothered. If that's not a kick in the nads for me, I don't know what is. But just to let you know, Pat, it's my channel. But these two are very, very, very important to me. But thanks for your feedback, Pat. Appreciated.
Thanks, Uncle Pat.
Aye, Uncle Pat. Aye, Uncle Pat over there in Ireland, wherever he is. Well, he's got to be in Ireland. He's called Pat. Geordie boy, thank you for your £5 super chat. Hoping we get 4 or 5 signings in this window. Yes, I think
that's quite likely.
Yeah, I do as well.
We've got 4 or 5 contracts expiring and we're entering the Champions League. It's very likely.
Indeed. Tom says, do you remember when Wolfsburg manager was Wolfgang Wolf? Yes, I do. Very strange, to be honest.
Wolfsburg are great.
Yeah, they are.
They're the reason De Bruyne is where he is now, because they obviously took him off Chelsea's hands and went and developed him. So
yeah, indeed. Yeah. Why aren't we going for Ndidi? He's class. I wouldn't say
watch our games against Leicester this season.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Ndidi.
He was class.
Yeah, he did have a couple of good. Well, he replaced Kante, didn't he? And he had a good couple of years, and then it just.
He had a very good couple of years. He was outstanding in that role. He got linked with Chelsea again and Manchester United, and then it's just kind of.
And then it just went to poo. Ian says, "How's your pub, Paul?" She's good. She started her first assistance training today. Done very, very well. Proud of her. She's not here in this room, which is why I've got the fan on. Let's have a look.
Trying to move the gonk so you don't trip up it.
Irani Granny says, Paul pays Billy and Alex in Paul Gallant's magic coins. Yes.
Buckets worth.
Even Paul.
Of the week.
Oh, dear God. Tide, is Diaby still a cut? Well, he's gone off the radar completely.
I'm sure he's on a list somewhere, but
yeah. Paul's channel, but Billy and Alex do the hard work. You don't see what I do behind the scenes, pal. But we all. I'm not even answering you, bollocks. What am I doing? Lee says, I hope we can get Kane and Rice as well. I don't think Kane's going to leave Tottenham. I don't think he's going to leave Tottenham.
As well as who?
You reckon?
I think Mbappe will go to Real Madrid this summer. I think he'll go to PSG.
Interesting. Anyway, let's have a look at the next player. We've got, as usual, we have 3 players to bring you, and the second one is Mohamed Simakan.
Well done. Very good.
Yes.
So we have a Marseille-born Frenchman who plays for Leipzig. How are you supposed to say it?
Leipzig.
No,
it's just Leipzig.
No, they do a little.
Yeah, they do Leipzig.
32,000 euros a week, which is nice and modest. However, he's contracted until 2027, which might make his his
fee go up a little bit.
Well, he's a right-footed, right-sided centre half / right back. I'm not quite. I'm undecided as to whether he's a right back who can play centre half or a centre half who can play right back at this point. I've seen him. I have seen him play like 7 or 8 times this season, but I was never watching him because I've watched a lot of Leipzig this year for other players generally. I've been looking at a lot of the other players. I've never watched the games specifically for him, so I've never kept enough of an eye on him. I've seen him in parts. I'm a little bit undecided. However, there is versatility there. He can play right-sided centre-half / right back. And we like that. I mean, look at the whole Dan Burn sort of profile. Obviously, this kid's not 6'7". He's 6'1" and a bit. Again, bloody FB ref. I don't know how every single player in the universe is and a half inch. Nobody seems to be on the dot. It's ridiculous. However, he does fit that profile in terms of height, age profile is kind of in and around where Botman was. He can also play out wide. It makes a lot of sense logically. Quite a good technical team in Germany who play high energy, good technical quality, would fit like a glove, really, you would imagine, into our system. 1,400 minutes this season in the Bundesliga, got Champions League minutes as well, 500 of them. And he managed 3 assists and a goal in the Champions League as well. He managed more goal contributions in the Champions League in a third of the minutes than the Bundesliga, which is impressive. So he's done it, across a couple of competitions, to be fair to him. So let's scroll down and have a look at the important bits. So versus fullbacks, again, it's difficult to know what to make of the stats based on what, because I don't know what he is. He's a few.
Well, he looks Harry as a fullback, Alex. I'll give him that.
Well, but again, some of this could be inflated. Like, look at his aerial duels 1 down the bottom in the 97th percentile. Is that because he's a centre half masquerading as a fullback? Who knows? But again, the passes attempted are really, really high. Progressive passes for a fullback is extremely high. We like progressive passes. Kieran Trippier is very good at those. We do lots of those things in our team with fullbacks.
Yeah.
Assists is really high per 90. Non-penalty XG is really high per 90 for a fullback as well. Look, just really, really, really healthy numbers. Getting forward a lot. Over 2 touches per game in the attacking penalty area for a fullback is also good. So he's getting involved in attacking movements. In terms of who he profiles like, there's a couple of nice players on here. Estupinian for 1 and Diego Dallo for 1 as well. So some nice players, technically sound.
And then as well. Yeah,
Di Lorenzo, yeah, there's one there for Napoli. So you've got some Mazraoui for Bayern Munich. So he's profiling really, really, really nicely here. So let's swap everything to centre half, and it changes somewhat. Look who's top though in the stat matches.
Wow.
Whee.
Wow.
I mean, he's done fine, to be fair.
He wasn't a bad. I don't know. For me, I thought he was a decent centre half. But
all in all, he was a quality defender, wasn't he?
He was very good. So, I mean, he's profiling through the roof here, but I think he's played more minutes as a right back this season in Leipzig's generally funny 4-2-2-2-2-2-2 that they play. I'm aware that's too many players. Don't attack me for that. So who does he profile like centre back wise that we know? We know Nico Schlotterbeck was very likely on one of our scouting lists when we were going for Botman. It's pretty much confirmed that that's the case. We know obviously he went to Dortmund and we went in a different route and got Botman. But the fact that he's linked technically to somebody who we've probably scouted. Bastoni is on there as well, who of course played in the Champions League final and played very well, may I add. Niklas Süle as well for Dortmund in there is a world-class player. So you've got some great players there. And I don't really need to explain the graphic. It's in the 99th percentile for most of it. He's very good. He's a very good centre-half. This is comparing him against Champions League teams and the top 5 leagues in Europe. And this is a 23-year-old who can play right-sided centre-half and right-back. So, very, very, very impressive there.
Just to mention, Alex, Foxy says Simakan has played both centre-back and right-back, finished the season mostly right-back. But when Leipzig play 3 at the back, Simakan is one of the 3.
So we'll look at this when we look at SofaScore. So there was a game against Dortmund in the Cup. Obviously, they won the Cup, the DFB Pokal. Simakan didn't play in the final. However, he did play against Dortmund, and they went to a back 5. And he played that Kyle Walker. I'm a centre half, but I'm a right back. There you go. That's a great comparison. I'm a centre half, but I'm a right back. That will give everybody a nice point of reference there. So here he is on SofaScore. So strengths, aerial duels, ground duels. And then if we go down and have a look, unfortunately, he didn't play in that final. But so this is the game I'm talking about right here. DFB Pokal, Leipzig against Dortmund. They won 2-0, and he got an assist in this game. I forgot about that. And if we go down and have a look, so there we go. They set up with 3 at the back, and he went. Yeah. So obviously they got Gvardiol on that left side. So Simakan played as a right-sided centre half and put in very, very, very good numbers. 5 out of 5 ground duels, dominated physically in this goal, got his assist, decent passing accuracy against a very good Dortmund side. 1 key pass as well. He created the big chance. That's his assist. A couple of completed dribbles. Very, very impressive performance there, considering he got Marco Reus to stop going the other way as well, who we know has been an elite player for many, many years. Guerrero is also no slouch on that side. So he had his work cut out in that game and did very, very well. And that's ultimately what got Leipzig to the final. You can see the ratings here.
They won it. They went on to win it.
Well, yeah, they did. Well, there we go. There it is. Leipzig 2-0. Unfortunately, he sat on the bench.
One of the goals came from an incredible little back heel from
It did indeed. So let's have a look at another game. He dropped to 7.2 against Hertha, just so we can see some different games. No, that's it. I want to show you one of the games where he's not in a back five. What about this one? Which team am I looking at? I'm lost. Here we are. He didn't start the game. Come on, play in your funny system, Leipzig. Do your job. Oh, look, he played in midfield. He played as a wing back there. So he's played as a funny wing back in a 3-4-3. I will find this game. I will find some of these games. He didn't start that game.
Try Champions League one. Start. There you go.
Oh, here we go. There we go. There's their funny. There's the Leipzig we know and love. 4-2-2-2. So he's played on the right side of a back four. So this is what I was trying to show you for versatility. 7.3 as a traditional right back. Obviously, it does help that he's got Klosterman there, who is extremely versatile himself, and Lima, who goes through about a Joelinton's worth of work in a game. Lima is the German Joelinton in terms of output, like just general energy. So yeah, extremely impressive heat map here. Crazy physical output there. 4 out of 5 ground duels, 5 out of 7 aerial duels. He's just putting himself about all over the pitch. 2 tackles, 2 interceptions, 5 clearances is enormous. It does look like he was trying to be quite dangerous in this game because he's got quite low passing accuracy, 1 long ball and a dribble. So he was trying to make all the things happen whilst being a physical monster. Let's transfer mark him. Let's have a little look. So 1 cap for France under 21s, which is impressive because getting any caps for any part of the French national team at the moment is insane because of the talent pool they've got is phenomenal. They think he can play pretty much everywhere on the pitch. Generally, it's going to be right-sided centre-half or right-back, though. So contract expires 2027. We know that. That's fine. So BS Group, BS Law is the player agent. And if we go and have a look, he is on a list with Timothy Weah and Sekou Mara, who we definitely did look at. We did definitely scout him at some point.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
When we looked at the Toulon tournament for Ekitike. There's nobody obvious that we've dealt with recently agent-wise, though. Obviously, our owners are quite new to this, although they have passed responsibilities over to a lot of other people, such as Dan Ashworth and other people within the business. So I really like him. I think this is a really, really solid signing. It's one of those out of the headlines. It's not a really obvious one, but it's one that we probably get for something that's not crazy price. I mean, what does Transfermarkt say his price is meant to be? 28 million euro market value. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I would probably end up paying 35, 40 for him, but I think you can see what you're getting there. You're getting somebody who could probably play 7 or 8 years to a high level, somebody we could develop, is comfortable in a pressing and a high energy system, technical quality. He's just won a cup with Leipzig. He's a winner.
I like him. I have to say, I do like him. I think we probably will be going for a centre back in the summer. I don't imagine that they'll be keeping. They'll go with the same ones that we've got there now. Obviously, Botman and Cher will still be there. Lascelles, we don't know about, but he would certainly be a great addition to the squad. Billy, what's your thoughts on him?
I love his versatility. I love the fact that he's quality in both right back and right centre back. And if we're going to have to rotate our squad next season, he covers that so many options, both centre back and right back. Yeah, I'm sold on him. Yep.
I definitely think he's worth a punt, but we will see if we are interested in him. We had another super chat come through while Alex was talking. $20 from Seattle Geordie. Thank you for your continued contributions to the channel, mate. It really is very kind. He says, congrats on 20k. Bought a shirt on Saturday, put 2XL into the cart, tried to get the Champions League badge on the sleeve. No luck. Went to check out and the shirt was gone. Went to buy again, only small available. I didn't want the Rangers shirt anyway. What's the size?
Get the Champions League badge online orders, unfortunately.
No, you had to queue up in the shop, which was apparently a ridiculous queue. Sizing, I've heard a little bit of both. The last season, you have to go up a size. But then I've heard other people say that the sizing's okay this year.
I mean, I will say to people, I ordered mine at like 3 minutes to 8. The website actually was up a little bit earlier, so there might have been people waiting till 8 o'clock, and it was actually up and running a few minutes early.
I ordered mine without any problem, but getting it delivered is a whole different perspective.
Well, it said 5 days, but we'll see.
I think they've slightly expanded on that a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. They may surprise us. Geordie Toon says, just want to say thank you, Paul, for your last video post. Means so much, mate. Cheers. You're very welcome. Nick says, smash the like button. People, indeed, please do hit the thumbs up. We keep badgering on about it simply because it's very, very important to the channel that we keep receiving these thumbs up. It does put us up in the search results straight away, and it does tell YouTube that something fantabuloso is happening on this very channel. And if you're new, please do hit the subscribe button. We are very close already to 20,500. It's flew up. So thank you very much for that, and welcome to everybody. But if you're new, come and be part of this amazing community by hitting the subscribe button, which is completely free, and hit that bell, which will notify you if we go live or we upload any videos. Jack says, just got here, been dying to know how people feel about Maxi. I want him to stay for one more season. I think he could do amazing with an improved, motivated squad. We'll talk about him later on in the week. We'll see how it develops with the Maxi story. But look, we've also got to do a free transfer show, which we still haven't done, Alex, which we need to get because there is a lot of big names on free transfers this summer who still haven't signed contracts. It's incredible. True. I've never actually seen a summer like this, to be honest, where there's so much talent available on a free transfer. But those free transfers also come with, I would say,
that's because of COVID. So we've still got the dregs of COVID, where players were signing slightly reduced and different contracts, especially in Europe, not necessarily in the Premier League, but there was a lot of that going on. So you got a lot of contracts expiring 2023, 2024. Yeah. So it might be much of the same next year as well, to be fair.
Tom says, be careful with getting the Champions League badge. It looks like the Champions League shirt may be slightly different with gold in the V-neck. Now, we did mention this the other day, Billy, didn't we, on the show? A lot of clubs bring out a Champions League shirt, very similar to the normal one, but maybe some of the writing is different. The names and numbers are different. So just be careful. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting the Champions League badge on because we're in the bloody Champions League. Why not celebrate it?
If we know anything about Castor, they're going to milk every opportunity they can to sell a shirt on a different
absolutely. Kind of shirt. Yeah. Neil says he got an email from Every this morning saying they had my shirt. So hopefully, I haven't had that email. I did get one from Every saying that something I ordered wasn't coming till July. And I nearly shit myself because I thought it was my Toon top, and I thought, well, it's Sodges, but it wasn't. It was something else. Paul Gallant, very good evening to you. Hope you're well, Paul. Like we always say, Paul has a channel as well. Go and check it out if you do so wish. Lots of channels out there to fill your boots with over the summer. A centre-back who can play right-back would be fabulous, says David.
I agree.
Elliot Parker, thank you very much for your $2.99 Australian dollars. We've seen the clip of Joelinton's goal. It was fire. Right, our final player of this evening's show is, for fuck's sake, he can't be called Lois, right? I'm not having it. Right? He's not Superman's girlfriend.
I mean, he's not. It's his middle name.
Okay. Ikoma Louis Openda. Or Openda, however you want to say it. That's the best you're getting out of me for that.
I mean, it was adequate. It's better than I can do. But everybody knows I'm crap at French or Belgian French, whatever it is. Same thing.
Is it the same thing, Alex? Because we don't want to upset the Belgians. No, that's one country we stayed away from upsetting.
Could be Flemish or Walloon or anything like
that. Well, exactly. So, Mr. 5'8.5", 23 years old. Very, very interesting player. I know of him because I've signed him on Football Manager and FIFA prior to us being linked, which is quite weird, several times. I've never actually seen him playing myself. So I will put that out there. So everything I'm saying is just based on the data. Obviously, anybody who we get linked with slightly stronger, I will go and obviously watch, and then we can do an improved transfer show on people. However, he is a highly rated young striker. Liège in Belgium, currently playing for Racing Club de Lens. Obviously, we love this club. I'm pretty sure they ended up finishing second in the Champions League.
They had massive celebrations.
So it's a club that we've actually kind of accidentally followed a little bit on this channel over the last couple of years, because we were linked with Seko Fofana. Is it Seko Fofana is his name? The midfielder who, when they signed his new contract with him, it was magical. They walked him out into the middle of the pitch with a desk with his pen and paper at full time. And then the entire stadium with their torches and lights and everything. It was so magical. It's a really, really nice club. And then obviously they had Kalim Wendo back in the day on loan from PSG when we were linked with him. And so really, really good team. I'm really happy that they're doing so well in France. But this kid, hopefully we can maybe poo-poo that party a little bit and get him. So he's done very, very well this season. 21 goals from 2,500 minutes is a great return. 38 appearances. He has been integral in their season. 4 assists as well. Running a little bit hot. Should have had around 18-ish goals based on his XG. Is that quality? Is that just a bit of luck? I mean, he still delivered not too far away from it. I think even if you take that down to 18 goals, he still had a very, very good season for a young man. Four expected assists, and he's got 4, so that's fine there. And if we scroll down and have a look at his statistics for this,
just while you're scrolling there, Alex, Tom's of course come to the rescue with an explanation. Louis is a French name, so more likely to be a French-speaking Walloon rather than a Dutch-speaking Flemish. Liège is in Wallonia. Okay.
Of course, for anybody who doesn't know, in Belgium, I think they got the world record for the longest hung parliament. I think they had a hung parliament for like a few years or something. I think it was like 500 days where they couldn't decide. So because they are a very divided country. Anyway, sorry for any Belgians.
And there were no famous Belgians apart from footballers and cyclists.
Well, I mean that's the same with the Isle of Man, to be fair. With but never mind. Yeah. So progressive carries, nice and high for a striker. Touches in the attack and penalty area, you would expect to be high. Progressive passes received, again, you would expect to be quite high. He's ticking the right boxes, but not profiling quite as crazy in other areas. Profiles a little bit kind of fox in the boxy, and I think that my comments are backed up by the fact that his closest stat match is Callum Wilson on the right-hand side there. Profiling similarly to Balogun, who we've obviously looked at before, Haaland, Nunez, Osimhen, Vlahovic, Rasmus Højlund, who is
get him in, sign him immediately. There's some big names that he's stat matched with. Come on, there's some huge names there.
That may be down to his output, potentially, and a lot of those players don't have the work rate in other areas. So, my question being, why is a 23-year-old not producing in the other areas? Is it something he can learn? Is it based on Lens' system? It could be a number of reasons. I haven't watched Lens enough this season, although I would love to go back and watch some of their games over the course of the summer because of obviously how well they did. Yeah. So let's have a look specifically at the SofaScore. That might give us an indication. So interestingly enough, despite his defensive statistics being really low on FBref, SofaScore is listing high pressing as one of his strengths, which is curious. So let's go down and have a look at how he's profiling game-wise. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, let's treat ourselves and have a look at the nice one. 2 goals and an assist against Monaco. We of course, are no slouches. So lovely team here in their funny 3-4-2.
Yeah,
3-4-3.
No, 3-4-3.
I was just going to say, I thought I couldn't see Openda there, but the way my screen's laid out, because I'm seeing something slightly different to you guys. I thought I was missing a player. So Kevin Danso is very highly rated. Seko Fofana in midfield, I alluded to at the beginning. Przemysław Frankowski is a very highly rated player on that right wing, and then of course Openda up front. So they've built a nice little team there. That may get picked apart this summer, who knows? So let's have a look at how he did, spearheading that attack. Not quite as involved heat map, but you would expect that based on the stat distribution that we've just talked about. Had an XG of 1 in this game. Got his assist, 4 shots on target, 2 successful dribbles, missed a chance, 3 key passes, so providing for others. He's done okay physically. He's done very well physically there, actually. 6 out of 7 ground duels won with 2 aerial duels. Drew 3... Noel Gallagher, go away. 3 free kicks he managed to get for his team, which is really, really nice as well. So, you know, it implies a little bit more intelligence for somebody of his age that he's managing to win that much physically, especially because Monaco are no joke. You know, they've got Kamara and Fofana, Yusuf Fofana, who is also a very, very highly rated player. You know, Monaco are a good team, and Openda's pretty much torn them a new one with 2 goals and an assist there. Most recent game against Auxerre. So if we go down and have a look, same sort of shape, spearheading again, gets the goal. He gets an assist as well. 1 shot on target. So he's attempted a lot of shots there. He's tried 6 shots in this game, 3 blocked, 2 off target, 1 on target. Completed his dribble, 3 big chances missed. I know it says he's only got 0.78 XG, but he's had a lot of volume there in terms of opportunities. Very tidy pass accuracy, 3 key passes for the team, which is very, very good. Okay physically, very, very involved here. 2 fouls, 2 fouls, 1 even, so 2 free kicks, 2 offsides. Yeah, you can see what this kid is about. Very, very tidy young player. Transfer marked. 8 caps for Belgium, very, very promising. 2 goals as well. Let's go and have a look. Contract expires 2027, which is quite far away, unfortunately. So he's going to potentially be expensive. Currently valued at 20 million euros. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for double that. If anybody gets entered into some sort of bidding war, although Leipzig are interested, so people talking about him as a replacement if they lose any players like Szoboszlai, even though it's not a direct replacement positionally, you never know. It's been with the national setup all the way since he was sort of 14 years old, which is always a good sign. Enormous amounts of appearances for the national side all the way up to the senior level, so that's great. Club-wise, starting in Belgium, you would expect. I mean, he's from Belgium. So where's he been at? He's been at loads. Standard Liège, he's been at Club Brugge, he went to Vitesse, so he made the step to the Netherlands, and then eventually went. So he's kind of is the Dutch league stronger than the Belgian league? I'd probably say it is marginally.
Yeah, I would say
they're quite
so.
similar.
Yeah.
And then got that move to France for a reasonable fee, to be fair. Excuse me. Right, so his agency. This is his agency. Some interesting players on here. Nobody we've had any dealings with recently, though. You've got Lokonga, who we know from Arsenal. You've got Dries Mertens there. A lot of Belgian players. So it's obviously Belgian representation.
Belgian league winner, yeah.
As well. So, yeah, I mean, I can't really offer much more than that because I've not seen him play. So I'm just giving you general information on what seems to be the truth about the player. If the links get stronger, we'll do a bit more digging.
Yeah, I think he looks good. I honestly, 23-year-old. You know, are we going to look for another striker in the summer? I don't
think we'll go for something like this.
I'm not sure, Alex. I think we will go for another striker, but whether it's somebody like him or whether it's somebody with a bit more experience for the Champions League, who knows?
I think we're. The only reason I'm doubting this is I think we might go for somebody who can also be a wide forward, who can be a bit more pace and can maybe go play wide as well. And I'm not sure he can do that. Again, I don't know enough about him to confirm that, but maybe.
Billy?
Yeah, it looks lethal, doesn't he, as a centre forward? I agree with you. I think if we're going to go for a third forward, I think it would be a younger, cheaper version or an experienced one coming towards the end just to fit in as and when needed. I believe that could be the first choice and Wilson's second choice next season, but we shall see. Maybe he'll usurp Wilson or what? I don't know. Maybe that was.
Do you know who I'd love us? Do you know who I'd love us to go for, guys? Even just for a season, Olivier Giroud.
He doesn't do the press or anything like that, does he? He doesn't fit.
I don't think he's got the legs
hey, I haven't got the. He's still going, man. He's still got it.
I mean, never had the legs, let's be honest. Never quit, was he?
Well, I've signed him on Football Manager, and he's tremendous. Right, so there you go. I've said it.
You'll have the legs on your computer.
Well, yeah. Well, got the hairstyle, you know. Just, I mean, think of all the the beauty products that he can promote for Newcastle just be incredible, man.
Well, if he tries to do beauty products, usually Royland stepped in front of him because he looks exactly like him, doesn't he?
But I mean, let me pose this to you: that wobble in results we had coincided directly with Wilson's wobble in his stamina and fitness. And then as soon as he started to pick back up fitness wise, and we all went, "Oh, Wilson's doing a lot more energetic sort of stuff now, and he looks a little bit better." Results started picking up. Funny that it's because the press is reliant on everyone.
Oh, I'm not saying Giroud was a starter here, by the way, guys. I'm saying that maybe as an impact sub, just somebody where you can target if the game's
if we want to go
direct
away and play him for 25 minutes in the Champions League, fine.
Well, very, very interesting players there. Billy, you pick of the three there tonight?
Oh, the centre half stroke right back without any shadow of a doubt. Simakan. Yeah,
Simakan. Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I think he, to strengthen up the back, the centre backs like that would be absolutely tremendous, and he certainly would probably battle share for a starting position. There's no doubt about that. I think Botman is secure. And he'd probably play alongside Botman.
Well, it's more of a case of we can't expect Cher to play 60 or to make 60 starts next year.
Very true.
I mean, he's done well to play as many minutes as he has with the amount of times he's been knocked out.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Anyway, there you go, guys. That is the transfer show all sewn up and done. As usual, please do give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed tonight's show. And of course, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Come and be part of this great community with this rabble we've got in the chat. And of course, hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload any videos. Thank you to the new members. Thank you to Super Chatters. And of course, the brilliant Mod Squad and to Billy and Alex. And thank you to you guys out there who keep coming back. We will have loads of shows. It's going to pick up pace, guys. From midnight tonight, it is going to pick up pace. There is no doubt about that. And we will bring you everything here on the Toon Review with daily news, live shows. We will keep bringing you all the content that you want to see. But thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm off for some barbecued stuff. I have to say stuff because Susan just sent me a text and the sausages look burnt. We'll see. But anyway, enjoy your night, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out some green.